All right. Moving into council meeting. I call the meeting to order. There should be a resolution to adopt the agenda.
Resolution number 2019-179, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Ward. Be resolved that the agenda be adopted as presented.
Question? All those in favor? It's carried. Confirmation of the minutes.
Resolution number 2019-180, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Ward. Be resolved that the minutes of the public hearing, regular council meeting, and committee of the whole of September 9th, 2019 be hereby approved. All statutory declarations have been complied with.
Question? All those in favor? It's carried. Citizens period. Did we have any citizens? No? All righty. Moving into committees. 8611, 852 Hogan.
Resolution number 2019-181, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Zelinski. Resolved that Council authorize the reimbursement of the purchase and installation of a ball valve at 852 Hogan Avenue in the amount of $193.20 to Mr. Joey Foxman.
Alrighty. Question? All those in favor? Carried. 631, variation application.
Resolution number 2019-182, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Zelinski. Whereas the town received a variation order to vary the maximum height of an accessory building located at 1 Bud Place from 12 feet to 16 feet in order to accommodate a garage. And whereas a public hearing was held on September 9th, 2019 in accordance with the Planning Act, therefore be it resolved that Council approve variation order number 2019-01 submitted by Terry Hagberg to vary the maximum height of an accessory building located at 1 Bud Place from 12 feet to 16 feet in order to accommodate a garage.
Alrighty. Question? All those in favor? Carried. 632.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Lane. Whereas the town received a variation order to vary the maximum height of a side fence at 70 Edwards Avenue from 6 feet to 8 feet in order to accommodate privacy from McDonald's drive-thru. And whereas a public hearing was held on September 9th, 2019 in accordance with the Planning Act, therefore be it resolved that Council authorize variation order 2019-02 submitted by Daryl Asaley, owner of McDonald's, to vary the maximum height of a side fence at 70 Edwards Avenue from 6 feet to 8 feet in order to accommodate privacy from McDonald's drive.
Alrighty. Question? All those in favor? It's carried. (641) removal of resources.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Lane. Be it resolved that Council adopt policy GG-125 for the removal of resources from town-owned property. It's just basically handing over the authority to relinquish resources that are deemed to be of no value to the CAO rather than coming to Council.
Discussion? Question? All those in favor? It's carried. 642, please.
Moved by myself, second by Councillor Murphy, be resolved that Council authorize the Chief Administrative Officer to approve the sale of lots and extension request with regards to property that was sold on. What's that?
I would be in conflict in that, sorry, I didn't read that.
Yeah, no, but if you're seconded, you're just still, yeah, it's fine. That was sold on March 1st, 2018 as part of the town's land development incentive. And this kind of goes back to the policy committee that was established some little while ago, and there has been a policy that has been put together, so now the CAO and requests like this come forward, she's able to deal with it accordingly and has some guidelines to go by.
All righty. Okay, question, all those in favor? Abstain? Carried. Great. 642. What was it? 643.
And this is a resolution to reimburse Councillor Ward for attending. He was free and available to go to an important Hudson Bay Route Association and made a lot of inroads and a lot of connections there with some other businesses and within that association itself. So moved by myself, second by Councillor Murphy, be resolved that council authorize the payment of the invoice from the Hudson Bay Route Association in the amount of $120 for Councillor Ward's attendance at the annual general meeting that was held in August 2019. And further to that, we had a discussion about the importance of being maybe possibly a member, and so we've put that on the agenda for the CDC, so that's kind of probably where CDC should jump in and be since the town representatives are there, then the CDC could be a possible member.
Question, all those in favor? It's carried. 644.
Moved by myself, second by Councillor Murphy, be resolved that council authorized 5 members of council to attend the AMM convention in Brandon, Manitoba, taking place from November 25th to the 27th, 2019. And just for those who don't know, this is a big education for all councillors and mayors that can attend to and pick different sessions, but also the importance is this gives an opportunity for mayors and councillors to meet with deputy ministers from various departments when a lot of those times are very rare to get. So when you can go to these conventions and meet with those individuals and kind of maybe get some resolution, some issues, it's a great opportunity.
Thank you. Question, all those in favor? It's carried. 645.
Resolution number 2019-188, moved by Councillor Atkinson, seconded by Councillor Lane. Be it resolved that council authorize the mayor and assistant chief administration officer to sign lease agreement with Swan Valley Settlement and Immigration Services, Inc. for the rental of 2 office spaces at the Recreation Center from September 1st, 2019 to March 31st, 2020.
Wasn't it a 2-year lease? Or am I wrong?
The agreements. Whatever the agreement says.
Oh, 1 year, not even. 6 months. Huh, okay, I thought it was 2 years, okay. Question, all those in favor? It's carried. 646.
Resolution number 2019-189, moved by Councillor Atkinson, seconded by Councillor Lane. Be it resolved the council approve the 2018 deletions in the amount of $1,164 to the 2018 real property tax roll. 2019 deletions in the amount of $10,584 and the 2019 additions in the amount of $10,560 to the 2019 real property tax roll as contained in a listing from Manitoba Municipal Relations as of September 4th, 2019.
So this is a housekeeping activity that covers buildings that have been removed and things that have been added, and it just gets them on the tax roll. So question, all those in favor? Is carried. 647.
Resolution number 2019-190, moved by Councillor Atkinson, seconded by Councillor Lane. Resolved, the council authorize the following accounts. Payroll period number 18 in the amount of $127,842.83. General checks number 23445 to 23482 and 23484 to 23485 in the amount of $107,833.99. EFTs in the amount of $95,127.14.
Question, all those in favor? That's carried. 648.
Resolution 2019-191, moved by myself, second by Councillor Lane, that resolve that council authorize the following accounts in conflict. General checks number 23483 and 23486 in the amount of $1,195.31.
Question, all those in favor? Abstained? Carried. Okay, 651.
This resolution here is about recognizing the assistant CAO when they take on additional duties when the CAO is away. So it provides a little bit more compensation after a period of 5 days. And so this policy was adopted. It's discussed in the in-camera portion of the Committee of the Whole. So it was moved by myself, second by Councillor Lane, resolved that Council adopt policy FA 828, acting pay as per discussion in the in-camera portion on September 9th, 2019 Committee of the Whole meeting. And if anybody's wondering, I believe it's a 10% while acting, and it's after a 5-day period that the position is vacant, just because you're kind of doing 2 positions, and it does line up with other organizations.
Question, all those in favor? It's carried. 7-1.
Is this one? 7-1? Is there a number on it?
Yes.
Okay, so again, resolution 2019-193, moved by myself, second by Councillor Lane, resolved that Council authorized a salary increase for Graham Collar, controller, in the amount of $87,500 effective immediately. And be it further resolved that Council authorized education expenses in the amount not to exceed $30,000 over a 4-year period, and with a return to service of 24 months for each level completed as per town policy. And be it further resolved that as part of the succession plan for the town budget for an assistant to the controller in 2020 as per the in-camera discussion during the August 26, 2019 Committee of the Whole meeting. I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Question, all those in favor? It's carried. Committee reports, Museum Board.
We had a meeting a few days ago. We didn't have any meetings over the summer, so we had lots of kind of things to talk about and some finances to look at. So right now the finances are looking good, and they're on par for where they should be for areas and money spent and certain budget lines. That's a good thing. We may, need another board member. We're just going to confirm. Looks like one of the board members that was appointed not that long ago, or actually it wasn't actually officially appointed, was interested, may not now be due to other commitments. So we're going to confirm that, and then kind of see, obviously, if they can't, we'll be putting out an ad in the paper or word of mouth to see if someone would be interested. We had a few summer students working with the museum. It worked out really good this summer. Some of the work that they were doing was a lot of debugging of anything that could possibly be in the museum, especially in the animals and things like that, and also kind of closing up any areas in the museum where bugs could possibly getting in, like putting in kind of door sweeps and those kinds of things. So that's a time-consuming thing when you're cleaning and things like that. So that worked out fairly well. The committee also got some information that as you know, we going to go back to the drawing board in terms of the Skippy L, so that committee is going to get back together and see if they can kind of come up with some other solutions as to where to go next. There's one of Sam Waller's diaries was actually fairly recently found. I think there was a relative of the late Walter Krivda who found it somewhere in one of the houses and graciously found it and went through all the stuff, which I'm sure was quite the task, and brought it to the museum. So it's pretty much confirmed that it's the one, because where the last page ends is right where the first page kind of begins. So that's I think it was the first one of the first diary, I believe. So that's kind of a significant find. As well, one of the things, and again, we're just compiling a small list of things. I brought it up before, and I know through the change of council, again, I'm not saying that it was done wrong, but like the taxes were added on to the museum, and a few other things were kind of, I guess, burdened on, to the museum, but the grant that was given didn't change. So there won't be a list of 50 things, but I think there might be a list of 2 or 3 things that the museum board would like mayor and council to consider when we're doing our budget deliberations, because as you know, across the board, many of the areas and budgets are pretty tight. So if there's a way that they can save, $4,000 or $5,000 to use to go towards something with the museum, would go a long way. So again, we're just kind of compiling a small list, and we'll present it to council. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Chamber of Commerce.
Yes. We met last week. Also, prior to meeting last week, an election forum was held at the Scott Bateman School. Jennifer Cook also initiated a Manitoba 150 grant meeting that was to bring different service clubs together so that they could discuss what plans they were trying to apply for in terms of the grants, so that the same people weren't doubling up on trying to buy the same items. And there will be another meeting that will be held October 1st. The AGM is in the process of being held. I believe November the 20th is the tentative date for that. A tourism conference was attended last week by the Vice President, and it was held the day prior to our meeting, so we haven't heard back in terms as to what the feedback was. And then on Saturday, we held the Northern Chamber Conference. It was attended by somebody from Swan River, and it was also had one person from Thompson. The different directions that were taken from the meeting were the lack of access to capital fundings for businesses in the north, 911 services, propane rates, rest stops, camping and fishing, extensions they felt should be applied to some different areas, and everybody trying to work together and possibly trying to make the resolutions heard a little more so, and what we can do to have the North recognized more, and possibly even sharing with AMM and seeing if everybody can kind of team up together. I think. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. Sustainable Forests, no meetings. Not yet. Citizens on Patrol, there's a meeting October 1st.
Just to jump back a second,
Sure.
Sustainable Forest, so that's never been, have they ever had a meeting?
Not,
Who owns that committee?
It was Toko.
Toko?
It's,
We'll have to call them in BC, or?
no, it was CKPI, I don't know, CKPI took it over, it's Joyce,
Joyce Tote?
Yeah.
Tote? Really?
that's who I get the emails from.
no.
I don't think there's been a meeting since CKPI.
Oh, really?
I think there was meetings when Toko was still a thing, but I don't think there's been a meeting since.
Hasn't been one in 11 months.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know it was actually a thing anymore.
Do you work there?
No?
I think Councillor Brian Rock was
Yeah,
on it
yeah.
for last term,
Oh, okay.
and there's been nobody on it since.
Sorry, didn't mean to.
No,
No,
that's fine.
Good.
CDC,
Yeah, we had a meeting on September 11th. It was fairly well attended. What we're finding though is the time we require to get through all the information is real tough to slam it through on a lunch meeting. And then we start kind of skimming things. So we got a commitment to get back together this week at 5 o'clock to kind of finish it off. But at our last meeting, and I'll let Councillor Lane can jump in whenever if he feels, but we had Al McLaughlin join us at the meeting. He gave us a presentation on tourism and what's going on. Also gave us some updates on the place branding that's been taking place, how it was being used, how the communities embrace it as such. Talked about some of the good examples out there that have done a good job with place branding around the Thompson, was coming out now, but Clear Lake Country and Morden Winkler. Then we talked a little bit about the snowmobile. Seems to be a big push in northern Manitoba coming up this year, and there's a lot of stuff that'll be coming forward and talking about communities becoming snowmobile friendly, so that there's designated routes through roads and to restaurants and stuff, so people can visit. A lot more going on there. And then also talked about business opportunities to support tourism, and that there was a big gap, that there's a lack of product in the area where maybe the CDC or others that are interested or have some ideas could actually come forward with it. And then there was some, so that was kind of the main part of our meeting, or the presentation was about a half an hour, 45 minutes. It was a great discussion on a bunch of stuff. And then we talked a little bit, and we got into our real agenda, and we talked about the Uptown Mall clinic, and how we are kind of confused on how that's not a great idea, and we're going to follow up a little bit on that to move that, see what we can do to help move that forward. And again, we'll be getting back together on Thursday to try to get through the rest of our agenda.
great, thank you.
Yeah, and just to add on to the snowmobile trail portion of it, their goal is to go all the way to Churchill,
Yeah.
which is pretty, that's their, so you won't have to take the train anymore, you can snowmobile up, so, but there's definitely some interesting stuff there, opportunities.
Good to have visions.
That's right. Cedar Lake. No meetings.
Not yet, no.
Recycling Board.
Recycling board, we haven't had any meetings up till now, and our next meeting is next Thursday. They're having lots of issues yet with garbage in the recycle, and we'll probably talk a lot about that on Thursday, and they had to purchase tires for the forklift, and so there hasn't been a whole lot going on, but recycling is not going as well as it should be, so we'll find out Thursday from Mark what's going on.
Do they have a lot of product right now?
Yes, lots.
Is there a reason?
It's a backlog. They can only send one pup trailer a week to Winnipeg, and
But it's also the sorting.
the sorting.
Right,
And
because
it's
before
just
they had, you didn't have to, you bring it there, and the amount per ton it wasn't even worthwhile to hire anybody.
Yeah.
Like, prior to, 4 years ago, they were, and then they didn't for 4 years. It was just, okay, makes sense, and now they're asking to sort again. So that is a time consuming beyond, trying to sort through it.
And
And
there
then
must-
you add the garbage factor in there,
Yeah.
and sorting through the garbage and sorting through the recycling. And half the things that are in the bins, people, it's an education piece too, think that they can be recyclable, but they're not. And it's, and there's, correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, there's 2 sorters, right? So you've
Yeah.
got 2 people sorting the entire area's recycling. So,
It's getting really jammed up, like it's really jammed up. So we're going to have to sit down and come up with some solutions as to what we're going to do with this stuff.
Is there a point where you just have too much product and can't accept anymore?
Yeah, that's happening in quite a few communities. I think it happened in Swan River. It's happening in quite a few communities through Saskatchewan with their Sarcan. And in Alberta, they've cut a lot out. So we'll have to deal with it when we sit down on Thursday and figure it all out where we're going.
Thank you. The Paw Community Renewal Corp.
No meeting as of yet, we have a meeting on the 26th.
Library Board?
26th, 25th.
We didn't have quorum, but we did meet for approximately 40 minutes, and information was just shared. The annual report was presented, and I believe everybody in council has received it as well. There was also, we had a meeting with Chris and Sam in regards to the design of the new bathroom that will hopefully be completed. And just kind of the updates on the flooding in the basement and sealing it off and what should become of everything. But there will be a meeting again, I believe, October the 8th, that we will have quorum for.
All right, thank you. SCAD.
No meeting
No
yet.
meeting. Kelsey Planning District, there's been no meetings.
No meetings.
Kelsey School Division Committee.
Yeah, we had a meeting, and it was good. I mean, it's actually, that committee is actually very driven to get to a good agreement where everybody's happy, or satisfied at least, maybe not happy. So we went, again, for myself and Carrie, and I know Larry, we're on a catch-up because some of these guys have been there for a long time, so we're really in the gathering stage. And we committed to meet again on October the 3rd. The big highlights is, again, we have a draft agreement that was put together before, and we're going to just knock the dust off of that. They're going to come forward with some ideas on it. Our commitment is we need to come up with some sort of lease agreement with the garage and how that works and how we work it in there, because there's a shared facility there as well. And yeah, and that's about it. And I appreciate everybody's help with, I know Amber's provided information and others, so.
If I could just add, just so it doesn't kind of get lost in the shuffle there in terms of, I know when we were talking about paving and the projects and probably waiting till next year to get a bigger portion. I know the previous council, and maybe even this council, we're talking about the paving of Woodelius Drive.
Yeah.
So just so that gets kind of placed on the radar of areas. I know some money has been put aside on their behalf, so I don't know if that's a project that mayor and council sees worthy of.
Well, right now, Trevor, is they've got the civil engineering report. It's supposed to come in. Once they get that report on what's required there, they did invest a significant amount of money to get that report done. Once we know what they have, I guess then that time, if we decide as a council or as a community to support, then we'll decide then. But we don't really know what the plan is yet, so if it's, so, but yeah, we should have a very good report, and I know Sam and Chris did help out to gather information for them, so, you know, doing a lot of in-kind support at this time.
There's a lot of social media chatter right now about Woodelius Drive, and I've gotten 3 emails today on it. Would it be possible to have the town grade it in the interim, just to keep it?
Well, there is
Not to do it.
there is an issue with how much was charged by the town to grade it. And maybe I can provide maybe a better update in the committee of the whole or something.
Is it going to be a question of who pays how much?
That was part of it.
Could we just fix it and in good faith, we'll arm wrestle later with the school division?
I would support that. I mean, we would, I'm sure if we touch bases with them and asked if we could help them, they would. I know that from my understanding is that there's been that debate on who owns who and what's
Yeah.
who's responsible and who pays for what sort of thing, and
I'm not sure what the school division has for equipment even.
they actually contract it,
Oh, do they?
yeah,
And the price that they were receiving to contract it was at a lower rate than what
significantly
Town
lower.
of the Paw was charging.
If we do it though, then it's more or less a bookkeeping entry as opposed to writing a check if they hire a contractor. So could, just to get this fixed and to buy some time while we resolve this, would anyone be opposed to the town grader going over there and straightening it out?
I think this,
I don't know if a grader's gonna be enough.
yeah, but I think that I don't think we have to worry about, like, offending, I mean, the pool is ours, so it's not just, you know what I mean, in terms of,
Yeah, yeah.
we're not, it's like we're doing it for the school, the people are using the pool all day long, and
I agree.
it's,
Yeah.
so what benefits the school is benefiting us, because that's our,
Yeah.
it's partly our facility, so I think it's.
I was there today and it's just horrible. Like it's impassable, really. You can't even drive in there.
And again, this grading, I know Mr. Monroe's in the audience here, but the grading will be a temporary fix till I believe it rains again and then somebody drives over it. It needs a significant rebuild.
It'll be great in 2 months.
Yeah, it'll be smooth as heck.
Yeah,
In
you know,
November.
ice.
November 30th.
Okay, so then can we do something with it in the interim? Everybody's okay with
Yeah,
that?
I'll be okay with that.
Yeah,
Either that or it needs to be closed down once again, one or the other.
yeah, okay, so the consensus of council is for staff to get over there and try to grade it, smooth it out a bit.
It might need some.
And it might need a little bit of fill. Yeah. Great. Okay, thank you. All right, citizens period. I see some citizens. Did you want to say hello? No? Okay. I don't think we have anything for committee of the whole, so motion to adjourn. We're adjourned.